Back on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell in your afternoon drive. Joining us now on the hotline is Ashley Battle, former national champ from UConn. Oh, my God, so many things that she's done. Played in WNBA. She's now a scout on the world champion Boston Celtics staff, but also doing play-by-play in the WNBA, in the NBA. In fact, I think, were you not a part of the first all-women's team to do a Celtics game the other day that I saw? You know, how are you doing, Ashley Battle?
I'm doing great.
Did you do that game with the other ladies?
I did.
Wasn't that a historic moment?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I did in studio, so I did pregame, halftime, and postgame. And I don't think people realize how late it is with postgame. I was so tired.
I'm glad you have to deal with this. All right, excellent. So let me give you a tip on the guys that are on the other side. Wrap it up. I know that you got all these things to say. You got stats. Shut up. We got to go home. I know you got to work in some endorsements, some live reads, and some commercials, but keep it quick. Let's go.
Is late.
The janitor's leaving.
Late.
Gosh, I wish you could tell Bob Joyce this every now.
That's hilarious.
He's on the other side.
All right. So one of the things I want to have you on about, though, is the national championship and number 12 and stuff like that. But I know how big it is for the players that are playing in it and their futures, and Gino talks about that, how it's going to change their lives. But for the alum, it seems like you guys really love being a part of it, coming back, going to the games and stuff like that, and supporting the next group, and their pursuit of that championship, because it is not easy. It's so difficult. And that's all they were talking about is Paige and stuff. You know, she needs her whole team. She needs everybody, the support staff. Tell everybody how difficult it is to win a national championship.
It is so incredibly hard. It's one of those things where, you know, I mean, at UConn, too, especially, you have the weight of the world on you all the time because that's the expectation. It's championship or bust. And, you know, the 3 championships that I won while I was there, each of them were completely different for different reasons. The first one, you know, we had arguably one of the greatest teams ever assembled. And we went undefeated. And it was like if we didn't win, it was a travesty. The second one, it was really unexpected because we had lost Sue, Swin, Tamika, and Asia, and people were like, oh, they have Diana, but who else do they have? I think we were like preseason 16 or something like that. Yep. And we're like, whoa. I mean, we went undefeated, but they didn't do all the work. You know, we put in some time, you know. And so we were just highly prepared, you know, and just really had a chip on your shoulder the whole time. And then the third one, we're beat up, we're hurt, everyone is just tired, and you're just like, can we do it? And we end up doing it. And with the least probably talented teams in Connecticut's history of championships, we probably the second and third year, you know, I call us the Bad News Bears, and we made it work just because we always came prepared every day, ready to work, ready to play, and everyone did their role perfectly, and it just fit all really well together. And you have to have a little lady luck on your side. Like, you have to. Like, it takes so much into winning, whether it's college, NBA, you have injuries. Like, I mean, everything has to go right.
Well, I don't want to call this Lady Luck because I think it's bad luck, but Juju Watkins going down made the road a little bit easier for this team. But this team, I thought, really evolved over the season. I didn't think this was a national championship team back in November, but I definitely did at the end of February. Sarah Strong, for me, is something different and something special, and I know that she is going to be on the Naismith watch list starting next year, and it's going to be a dynamite talent. It's going to be fun to watch. Give me your Cliff Note evaluation on what you see in Sarah Strong's game.
2 things that's really crazy. One, I used to babysit her.
What?
Which is
I think you told us a little bit about this.
You told us this one time.
Because, right, her dad, and how did this work out? How you got to babysit her?
Her mom and her dad, Allison Feaster, and Danny Strong, the 3 of us, we all played in Spain together in the same club where Danny played on the men's team. and I would just come over, and if they wanted a date night, I would go and babysit.
Oh.
So now that she's like 18
person.
and like you've seen her through the run, because you've seen her in high school, you've seen her in AU, you've seen her in the the Youth Olympic Games, but now at this stage, like give me what you think you knew about her and what you didn't expect her to perform or do on the basketball court at this level.
Well, I mean, I know the work that her parents put into her and all of the things that they would do on the side, whether it be watching film after every game and really teaching her how to play. And she had a European base. Like her first real exposure to basketball came in Europe. So to me, and I've been saying this all year because people always ask me, like, who does Sarah play like? What is she like? I'm like, she's really like Joker. And she plays just like Joker for Denver. She moves the ball. Her best quality is shooting and passing. And she knows the game really well. And she's super unselfish with the ball. And the biggest thing that Gino would really coach her on all year was like, be a little bit more selfish. We need you to score. Like, shoot the ball, and shoot more. And it's just, it's difficult when you're a freshman and that's asked of you because you're trying to fit in. You don't know what you want to do yet, and you're trying to figure out this pace and playing at this level. And they were like, you're good, shoot it. And he really doesn't give the keys up that easily.
Talking to Ashley Battle, I want to get back to – I want to talk about Paige, but I do want to talk about Sarah Strong. First of all, she's so humble, but she doesn't talk. Like, even Gino, after the national championship, was like, you could kind of expand, on what you're talking about. She won't. She doesn't really say a whole lot. The one thing that I thought was hilarious was after the Big East championship, her talking about, we get another T-shirt? I mean, she's still a kid. She's 18, but she's a baby, and I don't think we realize that because I'm freaking ancient, but they're just babies, my God, and they've already accomplished so much.
She's so good. She's so good, so humble, and she's really funny, just really shy. It's a lot being in front of the camera, and I think her agency who she's with Wasserman, they're gonna have to, she might need some media training to
right.
let her personality show a little bit, but she's pretty funny.
I want to know what you think of the role and fitting in the next level. Paige Beckers, she's probably going to be first pick overall tonight, and she's going to be going into a locker room with grown women that have been playing in the W for years. If she gets drafted by Dallas, just that collection of ladies, like my favorite, Dejanay Carrington's on that squad, like how she's going to walk into that locker room with that lady and then fit in or assume her role. You've done this. Like, how is it when you go to that next level into those locker rooms, how you fit in?
I think for Paige is just for her to just be herself, and I think that's great enough. And like her personality and how loving she is as a person will shine, and she just always wants to do the right thing. And I think for someone like Dejanay or Arike, they're going to love it because she likes to get off the ball, so this is, you have a lot of point guards, who may want to score first, but if you run and get up the court, she's going to find you and give you easy looks. And that's what you want out of a point guard, and she's going to do that. So she should really help make Arike's life a little bit better. And Dejanay gets out in transition all the time, so she should be able to get some easy buckets.
Do you think they'll be as physical with Paige as they were with Caitlin Clark?
For sure. I mean, she still has to earn her stripes.
Yep.
And, she's skinnier, she's skinny. And I think this season you saw pictures of Caitlin looking buff going into this season. So I'm sure, after next season, she's going to be in the weight room working out. And, it takes time to get your grown woman strength.
I'm glad she signed with Unrivaled, and we're set up for this league to have some superstar power and a 3-year deal as well. I know I've asked you this as well, but your thoughts on Unrivaled and just the legs that it has to keep going for over the years.
If everything that I read was accurate, which I believe it to be, they earned $27 million in revenue this year, and I think that's really great. Will propel into the next season. You have more and more star power coming in, and you have more and more people who are going to watch and invest into the league, and I think that's great.
How about Paige and the net? She didn't take it off for like 3 days.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, she was wearing it underneath her sweatshirt and stuff like that. What did you do with the pieces of the 3 national championship nets, and did you ever get like a complete net?
Yes, I definitely have a complete net. And I have little pieces. One's on the back of a hat, and one's on my Defensive Player of the Year trophy. And it's just, I think, given Paige's career at UConn and the expectations that were placed upon her, and the injuries that she had, it's just such a beautiful way for her career to end at UConn, and then the magnitude and the way in which she did it, scoring. I mean, she was just really unstoppable, and I think UConn, ever since we lost to Tennessee earlier in the year, was a completely different team. And when we beat the brakes off of South Carolina the first time, I knew we were going to win it all.
We're talking to Ashley Battle, not only former UConn great, you're also in the front office at the Celtics. I have plenty of NBA questions to get to, but I know we're not going to have enough time for even 10% of them. But Eastern Conference Finals, I know it's not right around the corner, but if it's not Cleveland or Boston, like who is a team, the 3 through 8 or 3 through 10, I guess, with the play-in teams, that you think is a viable contender for an Eastern Conference?
I think New York has the talent. If they could just stay healthy and put everything together, there's a team to watch out for. I'm not sure what the situation's going on with Dame and the Bucks.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, like just him and Giannis on the same team, they're impossible to guard. So you hope that they don't score 50 each every game. And the sleeper team for me is just Detroit. I think they're up and coming. They play really hard. They have a young star in Kate Cunningham, and they're just really a team that kind of found the pieces that they needed. They put some shooters this year, Malik Beasley, and a guy who used to play in Philly. But they put some shooters around there, and they've been playing really well all season.
Ashley, about the Western Conference, another coach was fired. We've had some coaches fired in the last couple of weeks, which is especially even the Denver Nuggets. Explain what's expected of these head coaches, and why is it so difficult for these guys to stay on the job?
It's really hard position to be in. I think I really don't know, honestly, and I think Steve Kerr had a really good quote when he was asked this question as well. He mentioned about how now a lot of the teams are being run by it's not necessarily like family-based owners anymore, where a lot of the teams in the past were always owned by a family. You have the Moores, the Rooneys, and like that, who's owned a lot of teams for 20 years, 30 years, and now you're starting to see like people come in that are businesses. That own businesses or CEOs that are coming in, and now they're purchasing teams and they're running organizations similarly to a business. And if you're not meeting certain standards, then you got to go. But it's a very difficult position to be in. You have to manage a lot of personalities. You have to, you take a lot of flack from the media, and sometimes what you're trying to do, it doesn't align with like the front office, for example, the situation that was going on in Denver. So it's a very tough position, and it's a blessing for someone like Malone to be in Denver for 8 or so years. In recent years, you just haven't seen that.
That's a great point. I think that can be applied in almost all of these leagues. You're rolling with the good one. I mean, the Boston Celtics, what Brad Stevens been able to put together, and I love Coach Mazzulla now. Like, he's becoming one of my favorite press conferences to watch as well. I know he's crazy. He's got those crazy eyes, but he reminds me so much of Belichick in how he does it, press conference-wise, and I think everyone sat out that was a starter in this last possible game. But with Peyton Pritchard possibly scoring 30 or 40 on the drop of a a hat coming off the bench. You've got players all over the place that are positionless. Like, a lot of people can play 2 through 4, at least maybe even 2 through 5. I'm still trying to find out the secret sauce of the Boston Celtics. I think it's positionless basketball. Porzingis being on the court really helps out. Like, what's clicking right now for Beantown? Like, why do you feel so confident the Boston Celtics can repeat as champions?
I believe we have a really great shot at it. We've sustained all year and had a pretty good record throughout the season, the regular season, and now it's time to turn it up a little bit. We have one of the best players in the league that's on our team, and Jason Tatum, and he does so many different things. And I think one of his best qualities is that, he's gotten so much better as a playmaker the last couple of years, where he's able to see and manipulate the game and understand where the defense is going to be. And if I take a step here, this is going to force other players to move, which is going to free up someone like Sam Hauser in the corner for a 3. And so you've had, in his unselfish basketball, which really trickles down throughout the rest of the team. And I think when you bring in someone like Kristaps Porzingis, and when he's healthy, he just brings it. We play totally different when he's on the court.
Yeah.
And he just, the defense so much with his shooting ability. I mean, I think the last New York game is a really great example of that, where he was just hitting threes all over the court, and it just allows driving lanes. It just opens up like the Red Sea, where you could just get to the basket, get to the rim, and it's going to cause the defense to get in rotation. And when that happens, you really have the defense at your mercy.
Ashley Battle, you are terrific. Thank you so much for giving us a few minutes of your day. And we will, I'm sure, talk to you soon now that the NBA playoffs are underway.
Let's go.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
He's the best, man.